just out there if anybody wants to watch. I'm gonna try to add this handle with those knobs if possible. If not, I got a few other options of different knobs if I can't get these with the orange. The main issue is I want the orange, but the Kastking emblems, and I'm going to also, worst case scenario, I'll just address trying to get bearings or get these to free up. But I'm going to try to install, if it is at all possible, this Daiwa drag clicker that's aftermarket. It's not a Daiwa, it's for a Daiwa reel, but it's an aftermarket drag clicker. This is one from Dr. Trout back in the day. May still be there on eBay. I can't remember his actual name, but it goes by Dr. Trout from the Ukraine on eBay. Anyway, that was in one of my reels, and I pulled it out when I sold the reel way back when. So I'm going to see about installing that, because this, you can get this in a version that comes with the drag clicker. They have clicking drag stars, but you want a clicking drag when it pulls out. The other issue is this thing. If you guys followed, well, now it's definitely not a clicky all the time. So I wasn't going to pull that off. I don't need to pull it off for what I'm doing with the drag clicker and the handle, but I think I'm going to go ahead, once I get the handle and drag star out of the way, I'll take that all the way off and just look at how it's made. Maybe there's too much grease, something. When I first used this on the water, I could not hear that thing clicking. Maybe it just needs work. It's definitely clicking now, so I may leave that alone. So all right, here we go. Just pop that off. You guys know how to do that. Pull the spool out. Simple. Pretty much all this is self-explanatory. Also, I'll pull the handle completely off first. You don't need many tools if you do decide to do this. Now, I did make this screwdriver. I guess I should show you guys real quick. Back in the day, I needed a skinny, strong screwdriver. This is what it looks like when I started. I think I've chiseled and dremeled and done it a few times. Had to resharpen it, sort of. Not sharp, but like reshape it a little bit. Craftsman started out as like that, and then now it's this. But you do need a pretty stout, straight screwdriver at times to break stuff loose, and good Phillips. Little Phillips, and occasionally you'll need a good quality, and I'm not even sure the brand of this. I don't even know if it's got a name on it. Yeah, it says something right there, chrome something. Anyway, sometimes you need a little power in a screwdriver. So you need some good handy tool, and you need 10 millimeter to take that nut off. Why you have this on it? Do you ask why I have that plastic on it? I'll show you. So let's just get started. I'm jumping into this. You guys don't have to follow along. It's not really made for anybody. I'm just doing this in case anybody wants to watch. I don't know how long this video will be. If you know me, it's probably going to be a long video. So let's take that screw out with some of them, as you can see, hopefully, some of them are straight and Phillips. You can use either or. I try to use a Phillips where I can, unless it seems like it's just not going to break free. Sometimes a straight is actually easier to break stuff free. But then this nut, if you're worried about scuffing it up, just a cheap, this is a 10 millimeter that's out of one of you guys' toolbox. You'll be looking for your 10 millimeter. Well, old Charlie's got it. But it's just a cheap Taiwan 10 millimeter wrench. You can get a socket or whatever. Just put it over that nut. The plastic helps keep it. Nothing keeps. Some of them are just there. They just flake off as you loosen that nut up for the first time. I've seen it happen over and over again. Just the finish on some of these nuts is not that good. This should be, and yes, it is. It's just your standard Daiwa Abu size. And I did rinse this thing off. We might find a little water here and there. This clicker, that looks odd. I'm not sure how this thing is exactly made up. The clicker's internal, and it looks like that honestly looks like, I don't know if I want to pull that apart. That's kind of a copy. Yeah, the clicking is inside that. So there should be, I guess I can pull it apart. Inside that, come on. That's where these come in handy, just a funky little Yeah, there's little, you guys see there's that little ball. There should be a little spring under that. I'm not going to tear that apart. That's the thing on the, I got the upside down. There is a side, if you guys tear yours apart, there's a side with the little ridges that lets it click. That's why it's so muffled, and I don't like that sound. Most of your, if you're familiar with Daiwas and some of them, they have this internal part here. Even, I think all the other reels I've ever messed with, usually, this is like a, I think maybe Shimano, and then 13 Fishing has a weird way of doing it where you got to watch from losing that. But that stuff stays together. It's pretty cool. It's right there. And you got a spring. And then you got this. This is already like crazy loose. What does that look? Why does that look like that? It looks like a bearing. It honestly looks like a bearing with the thing. I think it's just a nut. Oh, that's why. For this rides inside that. That's why that looks weird. And it's kind of flaking metal. Do you guys see that? That's what I was looking at. Something looked weird in there. I don't know what that's all about, but that is a very light nut. I can tell it's aluminum. It feels very light. This is where you got to watch, because some reels are different. I never go by schematics. What I do is I just set my stuff out here. So I know where that goes. I know where that stuff goes, but some reels are a little different. That goes there, this goes there. Almost all other reels, see that? I think that's on wrong. Do you guys see that, what I'm looking at? Those washers should be opposite, I believe. I'm going to look at these, unless they're just smashed, but I'm pretty sure these are supposed to be flip-flopped. Do you guys see that? Now there's a gap between them. I think those were on wrong. So yeah, you see that gap? That's the way they're supposed to be. They were put together wrong. You don't want these washers that are bent, creased, whatever, the same way. It will work, but you can get more, I guess, more spring with them opposite. That's the way they're designed to go on all reels. Now, it doesn't matter if they're sprung like outside to outside and there's a gap in the middle, or in theory, like you can go like this. I'll show you. Since we're like, this is like an educational video. Or you can go like this. And you see how they're like sprung on the outside. Either way technically will work, because it's giving you more space out here. As you tighten that in, it tightens the drag. But that's the way those are designed to go, because you would actually only need one if you went like that, because it takes up all the... And that's the way they work. That's the way I pulled this off. I don't think Charles has had this reel apart, so I think it came out of the factory with those wrong. Now, somebody may say, oh, that's the way they do it. No, I'm going to put them... That's the way I like them, with that gap in the center. That's the way I'm going to put them back. Then there's always a little bitty one. It has to be small enough. Well, there should be. Actually, you know what? They don't have that. I don't see it yet. See that? I don't see one. There needs to be a washer inside of here. Nope, that is a bad design. Unless that bearing's just big enough. Let me see that again. Well, actually, it may be, I don't know, you may be able to get by with it. You see how that moves? Technically, as you're tightening down, it looks like it could almost touch. And it's going to rub, and it's going to almost stop what that bearing can do. Now, this one didn't seem to be bound up whatsoever, but that can be an issue. So it looks like it comes with two of these. These look to be identical. So it's like one on each side of this drag stack, and then this tightens it, then your actual other drag stuff. But that does not look right. And I'm sure I've got a narrower this way. Same hole there, a little narrower that way, to where there's no way it could touch that. It's got the inner race, but it doesn't touch the outer. Does that make sense? That's what you want. There should be another one in there. Almost even these cheap other reels have that. So I don't like that. And you could even sneak in, what you call it. No, that's the same size. You just need to find something that fits over but is smaller around than that. I'll look once I get in here. I'm going to tear into this reel. But it wasn't binding up. I mean, it reeled smooth and everything. So I don't like the way Halloner's was, though. So it looks like we got two Phillips screws over here. and 2 here. So they're like over here and over here. And a lot of reels are up in here, and that's why they did it, to kind of keep it from the top. Top looks cleaner, I guess, and so they put them like that. So I actually don't know if any other reel, I don't think I've owned any reels that are quite like that. I don't even know. I've never even looked to see where this thing's made. I have no idea what that is. I was trying to read it, but I'm not sure what it is. All right, let's get this thing apart. Let's tear into it. We don't need instructions. We don't need the okay. It's my reel now. I've traded Charles out of it. We're tearing into it. Now, it's a good idea to keep the length of screws normally. I will say, like, if for some reason they do come out with the screw kit for like the PW100 and the clamber, they won't interchange, because the PW is all plastic, so the screws going this way are like this, into plastic. The clamber are 2 metal screws that go into the aluminum, so they're different. So there's no way they work if you want to try to get screws. They are different on the clamber and the PW100. So we're going to see those 2 screws were identical, and hopefully, I like it when like they use just the same stuff when they can, kind of thing. I think these are all the same length. It does matter. It does make a difference. You need to pay attention if they're not. Most reels, there'll be like 1 or 2, they'll be different. But those are the exact same screws, so that part won't matter to go back together. Now, in theory, they hid one. They always do that. Look at them dogs. The one that, instead of up on top, I thought 2 here and 2 here would be enough, but they did add one right there. They hid it up inside. Because when you get all the screws out, don't try to pry on nothing, because the side plate, once you take all the screws out, it'll just come right off. This screw is tough. And it is a different color, and they probably did that for a reason, just so you know. But they seem to be all the same exact. It doesn't need to be black, I guess, because it's on the inside, not the outside. Clear one goes on the inside, the other ones go on the outside part. Now, oh my God, am I missing another? Oh boy, how many screws does it take to hold a plastic reel together? There's another one right there. Look at that. You guys let me miss that one. This is the last screw, I promise. This thing will come. That's a little bitty one. Little bitty one at the back. Don't try to put no big screw in there. You have it all stripped out and won't work. Yeah, see how it just pops off. So that is all the screws. It took, oh my goodness. It takes 6 screws to hold that side plate on. All right, take it apart gently. Be gentle. All right, that all held together. Looks good. See that? Grease slimed up. I got water in there. I did rinse it off, but that water got right on in there, didn't it? Okay, drag stack looks promising. That is greasy too. That's not a bad sign. But I did get some water in there. Let's see what we're looking at. We're looking at the drag stack, the gear. Most are made kind of like this. This does not look anything like a Daiwa. If you remember right, when I was talking about the PW100s and the clamber, they kind of remind me of a Daiwa. This doesn't exactly, the way this is built right here, this does not look Daiwa-like. They're all very similar. Almost all your reels are similar. So we're going to take this off. And we'll keep track of how they had it. And there's always some kind of washer on the clambers, that little red looking one. There's your little gear. That's your, I want to say that's the added, that's what when you turn, I push this button and when you turn it, it activates that. Here, and that's why, if you look, you hear me talk about how this, oh boy, oh, look at that. I knew I was going to get my hands dirty. I talked about how this is clanky. This is, you know, hard. And then to activate it just like the old Abu style. And I'm going to show you why. I see exactly why now. It has 2 of these springs. See one up here and one down here. That's what click, click. When you push down, this goes this way, which it should spin. Which way does it go? It moves. It basically pops this up. It lets the gear pop out of the way of the main gear. So that's what gives you your free spool. Then when you turn the handle, this hits this, which is jammed up there, and it pops it back down. And these springs are what, it jumps this way, it jumps that way, holds it whichever way you got it. This turns it back, that opens it up, that turns it back. And so that's why we got some clanky going on. Now, I don't know if I want to go into depth and try it. You know me, I might. I may try to take one out, try it, see if it works, put it back, take the other one out, and just to see, or just to kink them or move them to get it to be a freer push and engage, which it's fine. It's actually better as far as for it truly working right. It's better to have it harder because there's no way for it to jump the other way, or it makes it even harder. But like Daiwa's not notorious, but they are known for having that ability to make them super smooth, but yet function like perfectly. It's just, in my mind anyway, you guys may comment and let me know what you thought. Daiwa had that down to a T until the T-wing. Then everybody talks about, in order for the T-wing, when you push this, not only does that part take place, that thing that activates the T-wing has to take place, and then pop it back down when you turn the handle. And that's what a lot of guys that do not like the T-wing, it's honestly one of the biggest gripes about it is the smoothness it took out of the clutch engagement of the old school Daiwas. So anyway, now you got a little education there. None of that even bothers us on what we're going for today. Down here, look here. This is what we're after. We're going to try to put this in this somehow. And it looks promising right away. You remember this, always watch, like, the cone part sticking up, it's a little bridge that sets up is on the outside. Remember that. So I'd flip it upside down like that, put that right there. It goes like that. Got another one here that's right in there. We're hoping that's where a clicker thing can go. You got another one here. And they are kind of bent. I'm not sure why they are or need to be. But most, like this looks very Daiwa-like right here. And most of these are never bent. So we'll flip that up out of the way. Then there's another one in here. And another one. Holy cow, how many freaking discs does it take to stop a fish? All right, so we got all this. That's how it came apart. Let me wipe my hand. Oh my God, get my hands dirty getting in here. We're going to fix this thing. We're going to get it figured out. Okay, now you're asking yourself exactly what I'm asking myself. Where does that fit into there, and will it work? Because here's what we got going on. That is way too not going to work. But I may be able to cheat it. I may be able to, sometimes a little super glue goes a long way. I can cheat it into this system and get it to work. Because this one, if you noticed, I'm going to move these out of the way. We don't need them. Each one, they're the same. One goes on top of each one of those. So you kind of know what's going on. And I got a video. I can reference back if I get crazy confused. So this needs to go here. And you actually can do away with that one because that fits. I know it fits. It's a Daiwa shape, and I think even the Shimano's end up being that size on internally. Abu's for sure. So that's got to go there. This has to go right here, and then this smashes them down. So in theory, see how big those are? That is going to have to change. We'll have to sneak in one of these little guys that I already have because I already have all that stuff. I've been thinking ahead. Actually, this one I think I did have to cut down. So it is going to technically lessen our brakes, but we're fishing BFS ultralight type stuff. We don't need monster crazy brakes. We need smooth, but we don't need monster crazy brakes. You just give yourself a little bit. Anyway, all right, where do I need to go? I'm lost. Oh boy. What are you going to do now, Hicklin? That's a good question. So let's see. In all honesty, this here needs to attach to that. I'm thinking I'll need to clean these and glue this to that. Put this right here. This is going to go here. And it's already got one. So, wait a minute. There was one there, so then this will go here. So then this will go here. And And then there was still another one, right? Yeah, because I'm only doing away with one. So in theory, as I put these together, it won't click because I didn't glue that. But in theory, that's how the stack will go together. And so it should be, a lot of times you may have to, because you're making this, you may have to space it differently. It may not work the way you're wanting it to. So let's see, let's go back to the beginning. So I'm replacing this with this. Those are roughly, maybe not perfect, but they're roughly, that's going to take up the same space. If anything, that's a little thinner, which actually is a good thing if I'm trying to add stuff. So we're just going to do away with that one. It's not going back in. Here comes a little bit of the issue. That's going on that, and that's going here. So we have this right here. And I need to make sure, the one thing I need to make sure is when I put it on, that it can go on top. So when I turn this, it needs to click, right? It needs to click, 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 click. So I think that's wrong. I think this needs to go this way. So let me see. So when I'm turning this, it's going to click. No, it's right. This needs to go this way because this is what's turning. I'm turning that. The fish is pulling drag. This is going to go backwards. This, you got to remember this. Anytime you got that, that's the handle. That stick, it's common. That's stuck with the handle. The round part that's touching the outside, the gear, that's going with the fish. He's pulling drag. The gear's turning that. So when he's pulling drag, it's going like this. Click, click, click. Okay, if you guys get into any of this mess on your own. Is actually going the right way. We can glue that. That'll go like that. Sometimes it's a nightmare when you're trying to take one that isn't even designed for this. So I'm pretty sure I just need to degrease these, center this up, which that'll be, it doesn't have to be 100%, but it needs to be pretty close. Like, see that eyeballing it? Glue that. Trick is make sure and do not glue this. And in theory, and what I should do, which I don't know if I want to do or am doing, is I should actually cut this down to where this is free up. It'll be as loud as it could possibly get. If this other piece, at least that section's gone, would help. But then I'd have to add another one of these on the other side and all that kind of stuff. So I may just try to put it together. I don't know. Give me a minute here. Let me think. I hate doing this stuff live because I don't know for sure. Sometimes you got to just get up, go get a drink, figure out what is going on in life, right? You don't know what's going on. And honestly, while I'm thinking about that, I'm going to do this. I got my gears turning now as far as which way I want to actually get that done. So I just got a penny. Usually a coin is actually better to use on this than, and really the best thing, oh my God, I'm going to end up scratching that up. If it's anodized good, it's usually not a big deal. It's not, it's junk. I'm going to see, I just want to see if these will pull off. Oh boy, look at that. That's going to be good. So I can pull that off if I need to. They didn't glue them, which that's a good thing. I love it. All of my AliExpress stuff never ends up being glued. Problem is, oh, look at that cheap. Do you guys see that? These are made on, that's plastic. That's why they suck. Those don't even unscrew. Horrible handle. Horrible. Riveted, whatever you call it on. It's just like pressed, fitted with this plastic. And that is plastic. So I don't even know if there's a bushing. I think it's just that plastic. They kind of figure the plastic works like a bushing on there is why those suck. So yeah, those are coming off. But what I need to check before I decide because I might be out of luck on this. I need to find two things. I need to find a handle. And I got several styles. Some of them are Abu style and some of them are Daiwa. I need a Daiwa style for this. This is a Daiwa style. Then there's Abu style. So I got a bunch of these laying around. Some are actually, I think they're all metal. So I need to find one. And bearings, I need to get that put together. I'm not going to be able to do this all in one video for you guys tonight, because I was hoping I could just see if these would fit. They don't come off. There's no bushings, nothing to go by. So I need to find which ones work on here, and these will definitely fit. I just got to find out which one works. So basically you just put that on, bolt that on, and then go with a lot better handle. I'll have a full bearings, which I have over here. I just got to track down which ones. I got them all on my magnets to go to your braking system. I got to find which ones work on that. Get that handle put on. This handle is definitely not going back on this reel. That's junk. That's, the more I tear into it, I kind of understand why it's only a $65 reel. And it does look good, but that handle, there was no kind of money that went into that handle. But what I can figure out is if I'm going to be able to, I may have to order a whole nother, possibility I have to order a whole nother handle to get the right feel and look I want. Because I probably don't have, yeah, see, I need to find, okay, those fit. Now what kind of, okay, these are going to work on 2 of these. All right, I think those are Abu style anyway. So let me do that. Because I want to have the same overall look, just with carbon fiber and bearings. Does that make sense? I mean, why? Who wouldn't? This is 2021. We all need carbon fiber and bearings. It's just that simple. I need to find another handle. There we go. So we got this handle. Let me make sure that fits. Oh, look at that. We may have lucked out, boys and girls. Now that fits loose. See that? Now, I don't glue them. What I do when that fits loose, I'm going to get just a little tape. It doesn't take much of any kind of tape. Just some tape to where that fits tight. And that's, it's almost a little gap. Let me just try it. Now, you don't have to. It's not a huge deal. That is going to be a, oh, that sucks. Look at that. There's a gap there. Like it's not a, oh my goodness. I may have to do away with the Kastking. See that? I wanted to use the black knobs. I wanted to stick to that right there and have that look. Oh my goodness. For now, I'm probably going to end up, I know somebody's telling me, just put the black handle back on. It's fine. Nope. It feels funky. I could try to spray it down, spray like something in there, but I'm telling you, that just felt nasty. It felt so cheap. Well, I'll just have to see what, and I guess we can make a quick little mock-up of it here. I could do away with those, put these on. These are almost, what the heck, which one long was? These must have been the blue ones or something on these. No, I ain't putting blue on. I ain't being that guy with orange and blue. Are these still loose too? No, these are just the exact like fit. Okay, see that? That will work. I'm just going to put them on, and then we'll see, you know, overall what it looks like, if it grows on me or not. If I have to, I have some just regular laying around here and there, black ones that are probably long enough. If I just like, no, black looks way better. What did I do with the other one? Oh, it's on there. So this is just a quick little mock-up here. Whoa. I don't know. What do you guys think? I don't know if that would look. I'll probably try it. I may have to be ordering some other stuff. I don't know. Worst case scenario, if I get the drag clicker working and I have to throw this back on just for a day, for $1, Where's my oil? Let's see if I got any oil in there. I'll just give it a little touch. Because if I get them to like spin for a minute, that's super glue. Don't want to put a squirt of super glue in there. They'll probably feel a little worse than they do now, I imagine. There's some kind of oil. What is this? You guys remember? I don't even know what that is. It's oil. We're just gonna see if it'll take a drop down in there. What is oil? Get out of my reel and have it all in the gears. And put a drop in that one and a drop in that one. I don't know how old, where this oil came from. I ain't putting on none of my bearings, but I don't even know. Let's throw these back on for now. Give me something to spin. Whoa! See, the one... No, they just suck, dude. They're just plastic on metal, you know. That's just... It does not feel good. That's the first thing I noticed when I started fishing. I'm like, oh, that feels not good. Does it change how the reel performs? Absolutely not. You could fish with that forever. Can you feel it instantly and it just is like, makes it feel cheap? Yes, 100%. Makes it feel cheap to me. I mean, there's several cheap reels that still have, at least, you know, they unbolt and have bushings. These handles like this you can get for already like assembled. You just bolt them on. That's the way these, I've already dismantled all mine, but I may have just ordered a different one for this. Look around on AliExpress. I want to say anywhere from 10 to 15 bucks and way better. So we're striking out all over here. I'm still kind of stuck. I've been running in my mind which way I want to go with this. And I still don't know. I think I want to see if I've got a piece without destroying that one that I can trade out. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. Because I may want to throw this reel back to stock and get rid of it at some point. If I go too crazy on that piece. Because one thing about super glue, I can always just pop those two pieces apart also. Sometimes a little heat or whatever, super glue will come loose. Trust me, it will. And I got a bunch of different parts, and there's no dial. I need an old dial part. I don't have any more. These are all the old original different pieces they gave you to go with different things. There's a freaking snap. I got all kinds of junk over here. Okay, nothing over there. No, let's have we go see, I think. I'm digging. Hang on. Still digging. Still digging for that one little part. Daiwa part. Look at these old Daiwa parts I still got. I want to say that's the gear out of the Type R, or is that out of the Alpha's Edo AI, maybe. I still got some old Daiwa gears. There's a bearing in there. Goes to something. Shouldn't really storm like that. They've just been set and they don't get moved or nothing. Oh, there's a spider. Kill it. Dead spider now. Spider over here on trying to do stuff. I cannot find what I'm looking for. I could have swore I had a bunch of old Daiwa parts like that. The skinny with the... I'm going to try to just adapt something to it. Okay, what can I do? So we'll go one of those, go with that, that. This goes like this. Another one in between those. That's how it's going to go. I guess I'm just going to glue it for now. I'm just going to, and I probably won't glue it all the way. I'm just going to put from like here, just glue this part, clean it real good, glue it on, and put it together and just see what it sounds like. So, how many minutes? 35 minutes? I need some freaking, where's my degreaser? That is a very good question. If you were degreaser, where would you be? Well, it's not degreaser, but I got some freaking wheel cleaner, which is like acid. That'd do it, I think. Hang on. Burn my fingers and everything else. I thought I had some brake clean, which works real good too. Aha! Aha! That right there. See that? Go off camera over here. Just spray both of these pieces on the concrete real quick. Flip them. Flip them. That stuff stinks. Somebody be hollering upstairs. What is that smell? I don't know. What is it? I'm not doing nothing down here. Just down here like making a YouTube video. Minding my own business. Minding my own business. I don't know what's going on. What is going on over there? Give me a rag. All right. Get you a clean rag. Dry them off. You can tweak on these also. I mean, okay. Let's see if we got it. You could scuff them up. I mean, I just want to see. It doesn't have to hold forever. If it works and at some point it pops loose, I'll just tear it apart and then seal the deal and make sure it doesn't come loose if I like it. But for now, it just needs to hold for just a little while. Because I may get hold of Van if you're watching this, or if you see this, or you know Van, let him know. I could use whatever parts I need for the Zephyr to make it have a clicking drag. It'd be funny if they sent me this exact thing just in the in a blown up version to fit on that, which may be what they get. I don't know what it consists of. Okay, now high-tech glue job. This glue, I'm going to talk about it for a minute. Watch it not hold for nothing. You get 2 of these at Dollar Tree. The original super glue, it says, but you get 2 of those for $1 at the Dollar Tree. And that super glue has freaking worked. It's actually too good. It glues so freaking fast that it will, you got to be on your game. You got to get what's going where there and be done with it, because it will destroy you. So this is going to go down, and those were facing down. So this needs to go up. This is part scuffed up. This part is smooth as could be, but I'm not going to mess with it. All I'm going to do, since I know I don't want any glue in this area, I'm going to apply the glue here, just a little bit. Try to put just a little bit. It never works. And if I have to, I'll grab, like, where's he at? This little dude that I make. You'd be surprised how handy a crappie jig comes in handy to just dab the glue around if I need to. Now, watch this. This is where it gets tricky. This is where it gets tricky, kids. Oh, that's too much. That's too much. Oh, my God. That is way too much. That stuff will spread everywhere. Spreads like wildfire, kids. Look at that. That is already enough glue. Really. I'm going to put just a little bit there. It does not take much of this crap. I'm going to put, actually, I'm going to, see, I'm holding it where it's wet. I still feel like that may be too much there. I don't want to glue this to that side, but what the hey, you only live once. Try to hold it up. Get it centered as you push down. Oh my God. 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 Get it centered quick. It's going to glue fast. Getting that glued and not your fingers, priceless. If it holds. I can feel it. It's stuck to one of my fingers. I can feel it. Blow on it. Telling you guys. Watch it suck now, but that glue, 2 for $1.50 for that. And it's nowhere near all the way up. It's only like a little bit. But and I like it. I just buy a bunch of them. I throw them around. I got one laying over here. I got, I think, one in my tackle box. Or I had one. I don't think I do now. But I carry like, they're just everywhere. They're scattered around. Buy like, $3 or $4 worth of them and just have them around. There's definitely one up on the refrigerator. I use it around the house and that kind of stuff. Okay, let's see. It should be that quick. Yeah, it's that quick. Now this, I may have to pull up. No, it didn't glue that. And it's there. Mission accomplished. See that? Problem is sometimes on this style, if you tighten that drag too tight, you can actually just completely collapse that to where it just like it makes almost like not a good noise. So what I could do is, in theory, I could put 2 of these, stack them together just to where there's no way it'll mash it. And I may do that right off the bat if I have to, cut. Just to try it and then see how the drag feels. I don't think I got 2 of them cut. I think that's my last one. That one's bigger. I think it will interfere. No, that one. But that's a different material. That's like that's a little different. Hang on. There's always something. Always something. I'm just going to put together lightly. I'm not going to tighten the drag up tight, and we'll go from there. There is a piece of, you got to watch. I think a piece that fell off that freaking thing landed in there. I don't know if you guys can make that out. There's a little something on that gear. You leave that in there, and it's game over. You get the crunchies. What is that? You see that? It's a little chunk of something. I think it came off this when I was holding. This had some funky stuff on it, I think. Okay. Do you remember how it goes back together? Let's start over. This goes like that. One of those, right? I don't know. That is replacing this. This is replacing this, so those 2 will be left out. Then this isn't replacing anything. It's going in, glued now, made onto a thing. So it's basically, in case you're wondering why did I glue that. So this piece will stick out here. So this won't move. It'll stay with the gear. This will stay with the handle, the shaft and the handle, and that's what will give it the clicking sound. That's what we're hoping for. So this will go right here on there, and I guess that's why they got it kinked down, is so the way it's designed, if it was flat, it could just slide over the top. So anyway, that's got to go like that. Then another one of these. And if I really had to, like say if it was just, it meshed up, if this stuck way out further than it did back to where it originally did before I added this stuff, I technically could leave that part out. It would still function. I should be able to put it all back together, I think. Okay, so all I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and put this on too. But I'm going to try to test it. So I'm going to say, just like if you were to hold the spool, I'm holding the gear. Okay, you hear that? So it is working. Now we just got to see if I put the drag back on, how that will work. So this stuff goes in. There's a shaft right there. You got to make sure that goes inside the that small gear. You got to make sure this lines up on your other gear. Oh boy, nope. See what I did? Did you guys just see what I did? I goofed up. So that's okay. We'll let that all fall off. The trick is make sure that one The shaft goes in there. As long as that part gets put on, then this you got to ease back in. And you don't want to go crazy. You don't want to try to force this in because you can... I've torn apart those roller bearings before by forcing one in there. I'm going to ease that back in, ease that back in. That's back in. And we're not even going to put this, and it's going to be oily and stuff in my hands. We're not even going to put all of the screws back in, I don't think. We're going to put, because I might have to take it right back apart. But I am going to put one in, just to hold all this together. Put the screw right at the back, just because it's the one I can see and reach while I'm holding it together. So we're going to put one screw back. Come on, get in there. It's not good to let it slide like that, but it's not going to hurt anything. Okay, come on. Okay, overall, it's back together. Okay. Now, we're going to put, do you guys remember what went? This stuff we made, that if I wanted to put it back to stock, I'd need to put that back on. Remember what went where? I was wanting to find a better one of these. This, evidently, it did work, but it should have a little bit smaller one to go in there. Okay, so then these were the ones that they were together wrong. I had to make sure they're together right. I like the gap in there. Hello, somebody. Hello, everyone. I'm just down here playing, trying to destroy stuff. And hey, it's working. So far, it's working. Look at this mess I got going here. All right, then this. Remember, you've got this part sticking out there. Looks kind of like a bearing because it's got that gap. That's where this goes. And then the pressure, you're basically pushing on. Oh, that fell apart. This goes here. You're basically going to turn, and I don't think you have to have that on. You're going to turn this to where it clicks on, and it's spring-loaded, so you got to hold it down, hold that on, and then we're just going to stick this handle on it for now, for just this second, and we're going to put the nut back on. That's all that we're going to do. We're not going to mess with none of the other stuff for right now. We're just going to get that so it's back together. So that's back together. Loosen the drag up. Drag loose. Oh, wait. Okay, there we go. Something doesn't feel right. All right, let's put this back. Maybe. Well, there's something still stringy on this frickin'. There it is. See that right there? That's what was in that gear. It's like a spider web with something on it. I almost goofed this whole reel up by getting that in there. I still may have it all jacked up. Who knows? We don't care. $65. I'll just buy a brand new one with a clicker. Okay. Uh-oh. What do we do? We have a clicker, but we goofed something up somewhere. I think I know what we did. Hear that? I'm wondering if there is something hitting in there. I'm going to have to take... That's why I only put one screw back in. But we did do the job. I don't know if you guys can hear that. That thing's got a drag clicker now. And it does work. It does function. Something somewhere, though, is rubbing. Did you guys see what I did? Maybe I just want to look while I got it out. What do you guys think of that? Does that look good? While I got it right there. I don't know if that looks good or not. You guys think that'd look... I guess it doesn't look bad once you get some more brown in there on the handle. It actually would look pretty good. Yeah, I like it. That's what I got for now. But we're still screwed. We're 50 minutes into this freaking thing, and guess what? I don't have a freaking handle. I got a What is that? It's not the spool. See that? It's nothing that we didn't change any of that. The spool's spooling free. We goofed something up somewhere, but man, listen to that clicker. Doesn't that sound good? I don't have like line on it, or I'd show you like pulling out. It actually sounds good. So the part that I was worried about with gluing it without cutting it, that's fine. So that's not gonna be a factor, which is a good thing. Let me get this under an hour. I'll just, you guys just have to check back later when I'm totally done. Sometimes I just drop everything, go to sleep. Next day or so, I'll come out here and jack with it. So what did we do? What did we do? And it's a possibility I could do away with one of these washers too. Not the inside one, but that outside washer technically probably doesn't even need to be there. But I don't think that's the issue, not this back. Yeah, that still feels right. It's right there, does not feel right. And I know somebody's saying, well, just put all the screws in it. But usually as it gets tighter, if it tightens up at all, it only makes that worse. That's not the issue. Let's figure out what happened. So I did not, oh, I know what I may have done. Sometimes if you pop unless the stack is just way too tall now. See, what I was thinking is maybe it was actually physically rubbing on this now, but I don't know if that's possible once you put that on. I mean, that should push it enough. That would be the only possibility. I took that and that out. Let's see. Let me think what I could do. I'm trying to think if I could put it together without that. But that's kind of a pressure type deal. It needs to be, and I got one right here too. Probably the same thing. If this one was thinner, I could try it. But it definitely have to have, let's see, how does that work? Hang on. You know what I'm thinking is, like, this one's got the little funky thing on it. If I didn't have to have that, but that's what that's for. So when that is there sitting like that, it keeps that off from rubbing, right? I don't get it. I don't get where I goofed up at. So see how free that is? It's like crazy free. Everything's working fine. So that part is good to go. Let's try it again. It's clicking. I think it's just a little too thick, so I'm going to need to figure out how to do something differently. Because it's going to spin. I can't leave out this, because then that metal to metal won't work. It'll work, but that'll slide. That'll let the drag never be able to tighten right, because there's the friction between that metal being slick, and without that pad being between them, won't work. I just know it won't work. Trust me. I just know things. Now what I could have done, and I still could do, technically, it's doing away with even more, but I could have taken, oh my God, what happened? How did I do that, whatever I just did? I got this thing stuck there. I could have taken, which is it? No, because that goes with that. You got to have that sliding. I got to figure this out. I guess I could try one of these if it's a little bit not as thick. Let's just try it. Let's just try it. What do we got to lose but our minds? Slap that on. Doesn't need to be that big because we're putting this one. I think this one is thinner by just a hair, but it does have that little push up. And we're just gonna try that. Another aftermarket piece. These three things have been replaced now. We're gonna try that. Don't try this at home, kids. Let me try it at home. Uh-oh, get over there. Get in there. Okay, getting everything all dirty and nasty. Just gets tight all of a sudden. Like as soon as I put it together, oh, that's why. It's too thick. Okay, I gotta figure that out. Just everything is too thick. Okay. Well, I'll tell you honestly what I'm gonna try. I don't have no clue if it's gonna work. Let's just try putting I don't have nothing to put there. Have anything to put right there. I guess I could try to replace these. Let's just try this. Oh my God. Start over. Some of you guys that are playing along, just bear with me. We're starting over. These tend to be, they feel thick. They're pretty thick. I'm going to replace all those. Since I'm going with one that's skinny anyway, it doesn't make a huge deal. So we're going to start back with the gear, which this is about that size. So we're going to start with the gear. We're going to go with the littler one. We're going to go with this guy, and it doesn't really matter which way, but one way has been used. Technically, if one side flattens out, you could take it apart, flip it over, and it's like a little fresher if it's the clicking got weird, but you can kind of rework that. Anyway, so we're going to go with that. What we're trying to do is thin down, because what happened was we added that to that because we had to have a way to make it longer. And I'm trying to think of what other way I could have done other than trying to cut this, make it have its own clicker on this piece itself, which would, definitely mess it up. So anyway, we're going to try this one more time. We're going to put another another one that's not as fat. Because those seemed awful thick. That one definitely seems maybe, hopefully, a little thinner. And we're going to go back with the original one that came with it. That was on something else. I'm going to see if that still clicks. We'll end up pushing it up if that gets tight or not. So you kind of match up the shaft. Get that to turn over here. What time is that? turn to be straight. Those always just go flying. So that fell in. It's definitely better. Okay, whatever I just did there freed it up. You guys see that? We're going to try that. The only thing I'll need to also double check is just overall drag pressure. You know, and how smooth it starts, and make sure that it I know a lot of you guys are like, there's no way I do that. But guess what? Yeah, I will. Okay, that is better. It still may be a touch. I can't. I think that's good. All right, remember this still needs really to be right. Take these, turn them the right way. Just like that. It's got the little stack there. If anybody's still watching, we are over an hour into this, and I'm about ready to just shut her down. Go do something else for the night. I'll work on it later. But I do want to finish and make sure, see if that's something that is going to hold and work or what. I'm holding this right where I don't need to be holding it. Okay. Let's see. There we go. Way better. Now here, I'm hearing something, but it's way better than it was. I got a drag clicker. I don't know, I still hear noise. I may have to take that apart and do a little more tweaking on it, but it's workable now. So I'm not going to put it back together yet. I've still got to get some bearings and get these on. I'm not going to go into that. An hour is long enough for me to work on it tonight. I'll come work on it tomorrow. I won't show you guys any more of that, but when I'm done with this and it's going, and I'll get it until it's smooth and quiet as it was when I put it, or otherwise I'll just take it all apart and put it back to exactly how it was. But you guys hear that? Drag clicker's installed. Hopefully, I'm just before I finish up, first of all, I'm wiping my hands off. All kinds of gunk on my hands. If anybody sits through this whole video after tonight and watches this, congrats. Uh-oh, what was that? Hello. I just want to put it on this real quick. I'll try to hold it where you guys can see it. I mean, what do you guys think? Give me your honest opinion. Yay or nay on these knobs? I think the handle is going to be perfect. See, there's a carbon fiber. Now, it is a little different. This is a little bit bigger carbon fiber than what's in there. But, you know, this is going to be on here with the nut. Put that back on there just so you guys can get a good... Yeah, I think it'll work just with those. I may put, you know, I can always change it back to black ones, but I think so far that'll work. I mean, I already had the parts. We've seen I wasted an hour. It'll take a little while longer to get all that stuff all the way on back together. But anyway, inside the Kastking Zephyr, I still may, you never know me, tomorrow this, I was going to show you that. For those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, you hear that? That right there? When I was talking about you can see that there's the little springy thing up here and the little one up here. It's like a dual clutch spring. That's why it's so hard. For functionality, it's like perfect. There's no way, once you engage it, it's engaged. Once you disengage it, it's disengaged. If you see a reel, sometimes you push this and it like either jumps up or issues happen. Sometimes if that's those two spring, I call them spring, I'm not even sure what they are doing the wrong thing, or they're one and it's weak. So the design, I guess in theory, is awesome because it is a dual one. Possibility one just totally broke or malfunctioned, the other one would still make it work, but it gives you that hard Abu feel that nobody likes. So anyway, I don't know. I may go ahead. I'm already doing other stuff. I may go ahead and pull that one off and then just try it. But if I do that, I may show you guys in a video or tell you which one I did. But other than that, you'll probably just see this finished and then I'll be out fishing, kind of deal. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. I got to go.